Right now, there's a silent shift happening. Not the one that makes headlines or floods your feed with hype. It's sneaky, subtle, but if you don't see it coming, it might crush everything you've worked for. The role of the investor, the very heartbeat of innovation, decision, and risk, is slipping away quietly. Not because humans are obsolete, but because a new force is claiming that space. A force driven by cold data, lightning-fast logic, and relentless learning. Artificial intelligence. Imagine this. You wake up each day feeling the weight of choice. Where to put your money, which founder to back, which idea has real fire behind it. For years, this was your edge, the gut of experience, the network you built. Now, AI can scan millions of data points in seconds, learning patterns you might miss in years. It can detect risks before they roar, potential before it even whispers to others. It's far from perfect, but evolving fast, too fast. The problem isn't AI itself, it's what it means for you. That gut instinct, the network signals, the experience that once made you king or queen of the deal room, they're becoming noise when stacked against cold algorithms calibrated with unfathomable data. Investors are starting to ask, are we already being replaced? Quietly, invisibly? What's left for us when the machine knows better and faster? This fear isn't paranoia, it's real. It cuts deep because investment is not just a job or title, it's identity, power, influence. And what happens when that identity sits at the mercy of code? The sleepless nights trying to decipher the next big thing? The conversations, the negotiations, the trust you build with founders? Can AI replicate soul? Can AI replace judgment? Can it solve the human equation? Here's the brutal truth. The old game is dying. It was never perfect, too slow, too biased, too fragile. But today, the system you trusted is giving up its crown to lines of code that don't sleep, don't get tired, and can predict what thousands of humans miss. And if the edge slips, your relevance does too. But hear this. This isn't a death sentence. It's a call to arms. This isn't the story of replacement. It's the story of evolution. The investors who fail to adapt will fade into history, but those who understand what AI really means for their role, for the future, will rise beyond what they thought possible. So here's the first secret. AI is not your enemy. It's a mirror showing how limited human intuition actually is. The investors who fight AI with their gut alone are already losing. But those who can harness it, who blend intuition with the machine's precision, will rule. Not blindly trusting algorithms, no. But questioning them deeply, shaping them with the insight only humans have. Second secret, your ultimate power isn't in numbers or speed. It's what no algorithm can ever have: context, empathy, vision, and rebellion. AI doesn't understand passion, fear, or the hunger to create something new. It processes history, patterns, probabilities, but the future belongs to visionaries who use AI as a tool, not a tyrant. Third, the most valuable investors will become curators of human genius, not just capital. AI will do the grunt work: data, risk scoring, trend spotting, freeing you to focus on what machines can't, spotting the spark in a founder's eyes, sensing the pulse of a breakthrough that can't be quantified yet. This makes your network, your true network, more valuable than ever. The rare ones who think radically, who burn with the refusal to be boxed in, who are ready to redefine everything. AI might surface opportunities at scale, but connecting with raw, unfiltered human brilliance, that's your edge. Fourth, the ecosystem will fragment in two. The mass, comfortable investors clinging to old habits will be swallowed by AI arms racing ahead. But a smaller tribe, sharp, selective, rebellious, will reshape the future. They don't follow the crowd. They craft their own rules. And they demand that investments be more than just numbers. They want impact, transformation, liberation. You must ask yourself, Which group are you in? The one quietly replaced by machines, or the one that masters the fire beneath? This is not a bet on technology, it's a bet on your humanity, your willingness to become sovereign in a world that teaches compliance, to fiercely align only with the few rare sparks who refuse the status quo, to be patient when short-term noise promises quick wins. The long game is where you win. The long game is where AI becomes your servant, not your master. Do not be fooled by comfort. The silent slavery isn't shackles you can see. It's the illusion that AI makes you freer, when in truth it can bury your spark under ease and sameness. It's easy to hand over decisions to machines, to trust their numbers, to surrender to convenience. But freedom is never easy. It demands rage against the dull, rage against mediocrity, rewarded by systems designed to process, not unleash. Investment, the sacred dance between risk and vision, is being challenged, but its soul can survive, even thrive. Those who embrace the symbiosis of human fire and machine coldness will unlock a new frontier. A frontier where insight is amplified, not replaced. Where risks are not feared but sculpted with precision. Where money fuels the exceptional, not the average. This is a revolution disguised as quiet progress. The investor you knew, already slipping away. The investor of tomorrow. One who refuses to be defined by comfort or old rules. One who smokes out the cracks in AI, interrupts the status quo, and finds the rare gems hidden in chaos. One who builds networks not of sameness, but of contrast, uniting misaligned brilliance into unstoppable synergy. There's a hunger inside you, the unbearable ache that says this moment demands more than legacy. It demands new meaning, to look beyond borders and roles, to resist being processed, optimized, and lost in the flood of data. You were not born to be a cog in a machine. You were born to wield your will as a weapon. Now is the time to burn what no longer serves, to question every assumption about how investment works, to break free not from technology, but from the outdated stories about what it means to be an investor, to build a new infrastructure, an autonomous network for those who dare to burn rather than bend, where misaligned genius finds alignment, where misunderstood brilliance forges power. This is your chance to be not a client of AI, but its commander, to breathe life into cold data, turning numbers into narratives, chaos into clarity, to create a space where the few who refuse to wait, who refuse to settle for the borrowed life of old systems, finally find connection, support, and strength. The world didn't hand you a free pass. It handed you a rule book, then told you to be free. It promised equality, but rewarded the mediocre. It smiled while burying your fire beneath comfort. But you're not here to be easy, you're here to own it, relentlessly. It's not about fear. It's about fierce clarity, brutal honesty, and undeniable courage. The quiet replacement of the investor is real, but it only wins if fear wins first. Refuse to be a passenger. Be the rebel investor who owns the transformation. Because in this new dawn, technology alone does not decide who wins. Human will does. Will you burn? Will you bend? Or will you become the investor the future cannot replace? The choice is now. No pause. No retreat. Step into the fire.